YouTube disclaimer. This video is pure fantasy fiction, not to be taken as a statement of fact. This video is for entertainment purposes only. Perhaps the biggest and most important deception that has been played upon us is the fact that we are living in a world of abundance. The world is actually abundant. Everything we need or could possibly want is right here. And we have simply been lied to. We have been told that we're living in scarcity. We have been given restricted access to that abundance. Someone has stepped in between and said, no, you can't have you can't have everything. Whatever you want, you've got to get it through me, and you'll have to pay me. You'll have to pay me to get it. So this is what's happened. But if we can realize there is abundance and see it again, that is the ultimate goal. But what is this abundance? Let's talk about it. You see, I realized a little while ago that wild animals, they live in abundance. They live in abundance. I was looking at the ducks on a pond, in the natural pond. Beautiful place, a lake with ducks living on it and swans and whatnot. And these guys just living a happy life. They're living in paradise for them. And they are surrounded by food. They eat the little weeds and the plants. And there's endless plants. They are literally swimming around on a 24-hour 5-star buffet. And they don't even have to do any work. They just eat it. And they love it. It's their most delicious favourite food. They're living in perfect abundance, paradise. And even look at cows, cattle. They're living on grass. Again, they're perfectly happy. That's their favourite food. And they're just living, standing on a 24-hour 5-star buffet, and they can't have enough. It's eating all day. They love it. They're living in abundance. So nature provides everything we need. Now, the thing is about us, we are self-aware. So the animals are not quite self-aware. They're slightly lower, but for want of a better word, lower level of consciousness, a lower level of soul. They have more of a combined soul, a combined consciousness. See, if they were more intelligent like us, we wouldn't be happy. That's not paradise for us. If you say, well, go and live on that field eating grass, that's not paradise for us. We need something else. You see, we need to be able to create a conscious, self-aware being at a certain level. You could call that a soul, a singularity of consciousness. We are in our own right creators. And in order to be happy, we need to create. We need to do things. We need to express. That's why we've got hands and a thumb. See, that's why a cow or a duck doesn't have hands and a thumb. They don't need to create like we do. But that's the double-edged sword of self-awareness. We can also manipulate. We can also lie. We can also cheat. So that's the double-edged sword. So we've got to find a way of living that we can maintain our independence, our truth, and our ability to create. So let's think about what we need. Well, in order to do that, we need a house. We need somewhere to live. We need energy. We need water. We need food. But we've got to understand a few things about abundance. See, we need energy, and energy is abundant. We need oil. Oil is abundant. It is created deep in the earth. It is an abiotic hydrocarbon. It is created geologically. Now, again, the lie, as we've been told, is fossil fuels. Therefore, it's a limited supply. It's not a limited supply. Again, you have to research this. And then you've got water. Same business. Water. Oh, we've got limited supply of water. We're living on a planet of water. Water is created deep in the earth. It not only have a cycle going through the sky, it comes from the earth. And water is interesting. Water is also, again, not many people know this, but it's self-assembly. It's a unique substance that will self-assemble. So if you just have hydrogen and oxygen around, it will form into water. So even in space, these things will come together and form water. You will have water in space. So, but water is abundant. It's so much of it It's free. When I say abundance, I mean free. It is so much of it, how dare anyone charge you for it? And you're an idiot if you pay for something that is free. But we've just been lied to. We've been lied to. There's a limited supply and you must buy it through us. And in the old days, okay, now we've got sewage water. So you may always paying to clean the water as a limited supply. We've got to clean it over and over. In the old days in London and in places, we had a different way of living. These old buildings, cathedrals, this is a sign that we were living in a different way. Whoever built these massive palaces had a different idea about architecture and what's going on. And these connect to ether. These are all about the etheric energy. More than just a place to live, they were a place that collects this energy. And there's so much evidence that we lived in a better world at that time, that in London, for example, we had spring water. It was piped in from the Cotswolds, piped into London through pipes, and we had these places where the water will come up. We've still got some in London, these little mini cathedrals with a water fountain in it. And that would be spring water piped in through the Cotswolds for all of us. And this cathedral will charge the water up, give it more energy. So they knew about this, and they were doing this for our benefit, for abundance. And all these buildings used to have that word written on there, abundance. So that can't be about money. We all knew it was abundant. We have to have it. We didn't even contemplate charging for it. It's only now someone thought, hang on a second, how can I charge for this free stuff? It's like, how can I sell snow to Eskimos? And what Eskimo is going to be dumb enough to buy snow from me? And the same with electricity. Electricity is free. Where does electricity come from? It comes from the ether. You see, people don't understand that. Tesla and all those people who built the generators, okay, there's an argument whether they built them or not, but they knew the science to build them, because it was all written in their books. The science is there, but it's the science of field theory, ether science, very different to what we're told now. They believed, and Tesla believed, they were manifesting electricity. They were manifesting electricity out of the ether. It was free. The machine was required to do some movement, but that movement created a situation that caused electricity to appear from the ether. It was manifested. Now we say it's transformed. It's not transformed, where it is created. And what is in the ether? In the ether is infinite energy, infinite potentiality. That is the ether. So it's free. Electricity is free. It's everywhere. So how can you contemplate charging for it? And again, the story goes, Westinghouse, who was the guy that actually, hired Tesla and all these were the guys that charged for it. So when they created these generators and they could do it, Westinghouse said, this is useless. This is useless unless I can charge for it. So he said, go and build me an electricity meter. So then everyone was working on how to invent a meter that you could meter this electricity so that you could charge for it. And it was a big job to build the first electricity meter. So electricity is free, it's everywhere. And it actually doesn't take much to get at it. See, this magnet is an energy machine. This is free energy. This is a magnetic force coming out of here for free, but this is a man-made machine. We have created this magnet. So it has taken some technology, but we've built it. But they've managed to convince us that, this is just a magnet. Hang on, this is a miracle of free energy. It's got energy coming out of here, and it comes out of here because of the geometry, the alignment of the atoms. See, it's very interesting. It's not to do with the substance, it's to do with the geometry and the alignment. That is mathematical. That is esoteric. That is not physical. Geometry is not physical. It is laid out in a particular geometry, and that is what causes the force to come out, and it's coming out of the ether. In the middle of this magnet here, there's a point of inertia. Tiny, infinitesimal point, the center of the field, and that is the point where the ether is emerging as the field. So that is in itself a free energy machine. It's free. And the same with electricity. To get that into an electric current, we've got to do something with the coil. We've got to create a movement. But there are ways of doing that as well with other magnets. So there are plenty of people are working out systems of free energy. It's perfectly possible. And if you don't believe it, the thing to look at now is even the so-called state are talking about alien technology. So the alien technology is not using quantum mechanics. Alien technology would be using ether physics. They would be using Tesla's physics. And if you believe in a UFO and that footage of UFOs, the only way a UFO could be flying is with a free energy machine. The amount of power required to have a craft that does those things is so big, there is no way any of our technology could produce a source of energy to power that craft. It would be colossal, a fuel-based one. Even a nuclear bomb would be colossal to create the power for that little craft. So free energy is there if you want to believe in UFOs. That's the simplest way. So it's free. How do you charge for it? And what else do we need? Air. Air is free. And they're now charging us for air. That's the carbon tax on breathing. If you breathe out CO2, you're causing problems. We've got to charge you for that. So, I mean, soon they'll have a tax on life. They'll just call it the life tax. Are you alive? Yeah, right, we've got to tax you. How can you charge for the life force? That's what's coming. And that's what they're doing. That is the control. The ultimate control of the species is the ultimate control of the life force. You know, they want AI, that's an artificial intelligence, but when you have AI connected to a network of humans, living brains connected to AI, either directly or indirectly, you've now got an artificial and real network of brains, life force, and someone wants to control all that life force. So you can't. Life force is infinite, it's abundant. Energy is infinite and abundant. Water is infinite and abundant because it is created. Oil is infinite and abundant because it is created. Everything we need, even carbon is part of a cycle, infinite and created. So, and again, if you understand the transmutation of matter, it is possible to transform one state of matter to another. That is through a plasma. Even modern science would have to admit that. Plasma is a flux of matter. Out of a plasma, any material can emerge. And this can be done now in microplasma. It's called plasmoids. Again, I'll leave a link below to some scientists working on that. But it means there are methods of transmuting matter. You know, cold ones, small ones. There are even biological methods. It happens in our body. Matter is transforming itself in our body. The Taoists knew that. The esoteric practices knew that. They were working with transforming matter and energy inside their body. Totally different science. Totally different science. So anyway, I wanted to share this. We do live in an abundant world. So don't listen to the nonsense when they say scarcity. But there's more scarcities, we're told. Scarcity of time. I don't have enough time. That's my big one. Not enough time in the day to do everything I want to do. Scarcity. And again, we've been taught that. We've been taught to rush. What's the rush? In the old days, we travelled horse and cart. That was sustainable and free. You just look after the horse. Symbiosis. And if you breed horses, you've got a horse and cart for life. Buy one horse or two horses, you never have to buy them again. For life. But it's slow. But what's the damn rush? Now we're rushing. Work faster, work harder, get more money. Why? Because 95% of the money you earn is taxed. Look into it. 95% is taxed. And there's over 230 different types of tax right now. And there's going to be more and more. You're taxed multiple times over. So you've got to work more. You need a faster car to travel faster to get to the destination to make your money to pay your tax. Slow down. There is enough time. And of course, money itself. Poverty. I don't have enough money. There's not enough wealth. There is an abundance of wealth. And the reason you've got to look at that is you've got to question what is wealth. What is it? It is not paper notes. Yeah, but we need those paper notes for the things in the world. Yes and no. You do and you don't. I know people who work in the healing business. They're healers. They do great work. But they're only paid by donation. So they can't be wealthy. But they travel around to the richest people. Everyone wants their help. So they're staying in mansions everywhere. They get free accommodation wherever they go. They're living like a super wealthy person. But it's not theirs. So they're living in abundance because these people put them up and they use that base to call people in to do their healings. And they're only doing it through donation. So if you really can't afford it, but you're lucky to find them, they'll still accept you. So there are ways of living in abundance without money. There are ways. But true money, of course, is gold. But that is still a physical wealth. So you can gain gold through deception and theft, which we don't want to do. But if you like physical wealth and you like this feeling of abundance and you want to attract it, think about gold. Attract gold, but you must attract it in the honest way. No deception, no theft, no cheating. But really, that's still not it. Wealth is really a network. If you know enough people, that is wealth. If you have enough friends, that is wealth. You know, I've got a problem I need fixing. I need help with someone. But I know someone who does that, and they're willing to help me. That is even better than having the money to do it. Because even if you've got the money to do this, you've now got to find someone to help you. And how do you trust that person? You could pay a very expensive person to help you with this job and find out they're a cheat. I've wasted my money. I've got to find another one. But if I've got a friend who I trust, someone I know to do this, and they do it for me, in an exchange maybe, that's better. So abundance of wealth is more than just money. And it's really reputation. You're going to only have friends and connections like that if you yourself are honourable and they trust you and they believe in you. So true wealth comes from you and your reputation. And that's what it used to be. If you want credit, you have to sign for credit. Who's going to give you credit? Who's going to give you a loan? Well, if you're a cheat, no one's going to do it. But you have to have a reputation, a good reputation. All right, I trust this guy. I'll give him credit. And credit is wealth. Wealth in advance. So reputation is more valuable than gold, and it's more valuable than credit. And a network is more valuable than money anyway. So you've got to reevaluate all these things. But the world is abundant. That's my key message. And abundance, have an abundance of energy. That's the last final one. The ether, the chi is everywhere. We're living in a pure fluid field of energy. And if I want some, I just have to close my eyes, come to the center of my soul here, deep in my heart. This is the center of coherence of my whole being. And I tune into that. Now from here, energy is created. This is the point of inertia, just like this, in the middle of the magnet, point of inertia from which the field emerges. From here is the point of inertia from which my magnetic field emerges. But when I focus on it, I am creating energy. I'm tuning into the chi, the ether, boom, I create it. And I fill myself up. So that is the real secret of abundance. That's what I'm trying to do. And I'm trying to share my understanding of that because I believe this is the most important thing. And I also like to share with you a course I'm working on doing right now on energy healing, because this is how we can help each other and we can all do it. We can all do it. And not only that, if you're struggling with money, even that, being an energy healer will give you an avenue of wealth. But do it through donation, do it nicely and do it honourably. So being an energy healer is well worth looking into. I think that is one of the simplest things we can all do right now to start building a better world. And I'll leave links to that. I'll leave it up here at the end also to that course. So thank you so much again for listening, and look forward to seeing you in any of these other videos here.